Well, hey guys. Hello, hello. Hi, Dave. You love the sweat, Sven and Ollie. Oh, good. Or Sven and Oli. Oli, not Ollie. Oli. Okay. Um, it's fun entertainment. Well, it's like over Christmas and New Year's, and right now it's like there's nothing going on garden wise or anything. It's just like, okay, let's just have some fun in the middle of the dark, long days of winter. Long nights, short days of winter. There you go. So, hey, Dave. Hi, Alicia. Um, Kiri, hello. It's so fun. Oh, good. I'm so glad. It says down to one person. What's going on? Hi, Kathy. Hello to you. I don't know if you've been here for any of my Sven and Olis. I haven't done them for a while. So, Alicia, did you get my DM back? So thank you very much. I don't know if you had gotten it back or not. Donna, hello. Oops. It's a minefield here right now. Oh. Oh, that's so sweet of you, Alicia. I appreciate you giving them reminders and heads up and all that kind of stuff. So, Eli, hello. Good evening to you. Oh, how's everybody today? January 9th already. 9 days already into the new year. Oh my goodness sakes. Sorry, I just need a little lotion on my hands. Wow. How's everybody's new year been going already for you guys? Mine has just been just kind of floating into the new year, I guess, which is good. Nothing catastrophic going on. So I was out and about today looking at stoves. I need to get a new stove. So New Year has been quite good. Good for you. Well, thank you. Yes, I'm feeling well. Um, things have just been, you know, it's been a lot better than the last couple years, I would say. The last 3 years has been really chaotic. So it's kinda nice to kinda go into a new year where it's like, "Okay, I don't really think there's gonna be too many, at least family catastrophic things going on, new or anything like that." So, yes, you have been getting rain like crazy out there in California. Oh my goodness. Um, Kathy, you got a new heifer? Good for you. Connie, hi, hugs to you. Oh, sorry, Alicia. Oh, I'm glad that you're doing better now. Grammy Karen, hello. On top of a wild animal? You've been sick? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Carrie. Trying to get internet through a T-Mobile hotspot thing is not going well. This whole internet thing it's kind of tough to get good coverage sometimes. It really is. So, uh, you got Connie. Oh my goodness. An old one, an antique one, or a brand new one? That would be good to know because I mean, like, if it was like from the 60s or 70s, those are like the classic Mustangs. But so it'd be kind of nice to know. 2006 GT. Okay. Very cool. Very, very cool. You live too far out in the boonies, you guess. Oh, yeah, that is hard. That is really hard. So anyway, yes, that's one thing in looking for a stove, I've tried to figure out how they can end up delivering that won't cost me a fortune. Get delivery, installation, convert from natural gas to LP. All the innards and of it, all the connections or whatever have to be converted, and then haul away the old one. So Yeah, and Donna, and I know I could do that, but I need somebody to be doing all that other stuff for me, so, I that's why I just have to go for that because I first of all, don't have any way to haul one here, and even if I got it here to get it in the house, pull the other one out, and then install the new one, it's just like it's just me, and it's like, I need to have somebody do that for me, and so, yeah, it's just so much, you know, I'll do that. It used to be your parents? Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Well, that definitely puts a smile on your face, Connie, that's for sure. Hello, Marcia. How are you doing? Let's see what our current temperature is. We got a bundle of snow last week. Again, it was a week where I went out on Monday, did not get out again until Friday. It's 19 degrees right now. So I don't know if we have any snow in the forecast. Nope, nothing in the forecast. And temps all between teens and upper 20s. So above zero, which is kind of nice. So, um, yeah. So anyway, yeah, last week I'm trying to think. Tuesday was our big day of snow. Got about 8 inches, I think, of snow. And then Wednesday, got another 5 inches. By Thursday morning, there was maybe another inch or so. So I would say a good 14 inches of snow um, last week. And then, yeah, Thursday, just we're kind of shoveling out. And although I did snow blow on Wednesday, but I still have to attend to the roof again. I did, for those of you who don't know what roof raking is, um, it's a special kind of shovel with a 15-foot long handle that you get up on the roof and it pulls the snow down. But I can only reach a certain amount of it. I just this afternoon saw my neighbor across the street. He's up on his roof with a shovel, just getting all the snow off. But my roof is too steep to be doing that, and so I have to do the roof raking. And there's just huge icicles and stuff building up, and I'm a little concerned about an ice jam going on. But I can only do what I can do. So some stores offer delivery and install. Yeah, I was checking one that was probably 30 miles from me today, Kathy, and yeah, it's like $99 for delivery, $30 to pick up my old one, and then $150 for them to do the conversion. And so it was like on top of the cost of the stove, another $280 for that. So I'm trying to figure out some other options. Somebody else told me about Costco, so I'm going to check that out too. So yes, that was a lot of snow. I am not getting up on the roof, Alicia. No, I'm not even getting on a ladder to try to get further in on the roof. It's just whatever I can get, and that's it. Sacramento History Channel shared back in 1800s 12 and a half inches of rain in one day. Oh my goodness. You guys have gotten crazy amounts of rain. I mean, crazy amounts. And the stuff that, thank you, Karen. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's, you're either with droughts and fires, or floods and then earthquakes. Exciting place to live in, right? Oh my goodness sakes. Oh, you guys. Well, so since the snow last week, it's just been kind of mild, foggy. We've had a lot of fog, which has just frosted all the trees and everything. So that's been kind of fun to see that. But anyway, I am going to go right into a Sven and Ole story. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for some Sven and Ole? They decided to build levees and raise the city after that. Yeah, it's and like I said, that was in the 1800s, almost 200 years ago. And so it happens. It's people think, oh, it's the end of the world if we're getting 15 inches of rain. It's like, well, it's happened before. Um, that's true, Alicia. You have a pretty nice place up there. A little bit milder than here, that's for sure. Okay, you guys are ready for some stories? Okay. Um, does everybody know what a loon is? That's a Minnesota state bird. First of all, it's a loon. Looks a little bit like a duck, but it's a little different. They're a little more um, streamlined, I guess you could say, than a duck. A duck is a little bit more squat, and they're a little bit um, bird on your dollar coin. Cool. Yes, and they have that very distinctive hooting sound that a lot of people use for being out in the wilderness in the woods and stuff. So anyway, they're basically black and white, but they're just really neat. A loom, the loon. Yes, the Minnesota state bird. Okay. Sven recently got promoted to game warden for his Minnesota district and was watching a beautiful flock of loons flying overhead. Just a beautiful flock. Just watching them. Suddenly, a shot rang out and one of the loons fell to the ground. Sven drove his truck over to where it fell, only to see his lifelong friend, Ole, picking it up. Ole, what you doing? You can't shoot the loon. They're endangered. That's a federal offense. You'll be going to jail. Ole said, I thought it was a goose. I didn't know. Oh, please think of poor Lena. How will she get by if I'm in jail? Please, Sven, I'm begging ya. Sven agrees to let it go, but said, nobody can know about this, Ole. Take it home and have Lena cook it up. Eat it all and never tell nobody about it. Ole agrees and leaves with the bird wrapped up. Hey, Jay. A week later, Sven runs into Ole and says, Ole, you get rid of that bird like I told ya? Oh, yeah, Sven. Lena cooked it up and we ate the whole thing up. I put all the feathers and stuff in a bag, wrapped it up extra in the trash. Good, says Sven, but I always wondered what the loon tastes like. How was it, Ole? Oh, yeah, Sven, was pretty good. Very tasty. Kind of like a cross between whooping crane and a bald eagle. Oops. Ole, you have to stop when you're ahead. Oh my goodness. Anybody who doesn't know the whooping crane is the whooping crane? The crane and a bald eagle. Yeah, oops, wrong answer. Exactly. Oh, you guys. Okay. This one's kind of a groan at the end, but I hope you'll get it. A Swedish farming village in 1265 is facing a crisis. They haven't had any rain in almost 2 months. All of their crops are dead or dying, and many of the citizens are starving. One day, Sven comes bursting into his kitchen, scooping his wife Helda into his arms and dancing with joy. Sven, what's gotten into you? Why are you so happy? Helga asks. Eagles and dumplings. Oh, there you go. Good answers, guys. My darling, I've just spoken to Rudolph. Sven replies, You know Rudolph. He's got a great plait of fire red hair and a big bushy red beard. He says that we'll get 4 inches of glorious rain by tomorrow. Oh, joy! All our problems are solved. Helga slaps at her husband. Oh, Sven, you've gotten my hopes up. Why are you so confident in this Rudolph fellow? Sven beams at his wife and says, Because Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear. It makes a little more sense if you see it written out. He knows the rain, dear. You guys got it. Okay, good. Okay. I'm marking these right here. Okay. Yerk, yerk, yerk. I don't know where Matt and Sarah are tonight. They like these. Ranchers here all tried to say they shot the bear head at a bar until the game warden informed the ranchers the Mexican black bears. Woo! Not so good. Just like the stories of Betty White's characters' stories. There's Sven and Ole stories. Jay, Sven and Ole are well, probably Betty White because she's the Scandinavian from Minnesota. So these are, depending on what your nationality is, Sven and Ole can either be Finnish or Norwegian or Swedish or something. But anyway, they're just quite a few light bulbs short of a pack. Let's just say that. And so they there's all kinds of stories and jokes and everything about them, and it's a cultural thing here in Minnesota. It's kind of what we everybody's like Sven and Ole. Oh yes, Sven and Ole jokes, and it is all in really good fun and jest. So reindeer, yes, scatterbrain rose local. Okay, oh Rose, yeah, there you are, Matt and Sarah. So who's on tonight? I was just talking about you. You probably said something. Okay. Ole, Sven, and Nels came into the bar. Oh, hi, Matt. They were high-fiving each other, shouting, and generally having a celebration of some sort. Line 'em up, Ole shouted as the party continued. They drank and carried on for hours. Finally, the bartender's curiosity got the better of him. Just what are you celebrating? He asked. 51 days. We did it in 51 days, they responded. What did you do in 51 days? He probed. Put the puzzle together, they replied. 51 days, and the box said 3 to 5 years. And so we beat the time. 3 to 5. You working? Oh, no worries. I'm just glad that you guys are still busy after after all that. So okay. I know I've done this one before, but it's just so funny and it's so good and it's so really kind of time sensitive for right now because for those in Minnesota, you'll know. It sounds like stories about people of Polish descent. It could be. We had a lot of Polak jokes too, different things. So, yeah, go ahead, Matt. And that's quite all right. Go ahead and put up your link for your shop. That would be great. Okay. Ole and Sven died and went to hell. The devil walked by, and they were sitting there with their winter coats still on. The devil asked them, Aren't you hot? Ole replied, Nah, you need to remember that we is from Minnesota where it is very cold. This feels very good to us. This infuriated the devil, and he turned the heat up 200 degrees. The next day, the devil again passed by, and there were Ole and Sven with their winter coats still on. The devil again asked, "Aren't you hot?" Sven replied, "Nah, you need to remember that we is from Minnesota, where it is very, very cold. The heat is good for our muscles and soothes the aches and pains." This infuriated the devil even more, and he turned the heat up to the maximum temperature. When the devil walked past Ole and Sven the next day, there they were. Their winter coats were now unzipped, but still on. The devil screamed at them, "Aren't you hot with your winter coats on?" Both Ole and Sven replied, "Nah, you need to remember that we is from Minnesota, where it is always very cold. This is very nice for us." The devil was determined to make them suffer. He decided to punish Ole and Sven by making hell colder than Minnesota. He turned the furnaces of hell completely off, and it became very, very cold. Ice hung from the caverns of hell. Frost was everywhere. When the devil approached Ole and Sven, they could be seen jumping up and down and cheering and giving each other high fives. The devil could not believe this. He asked them, "Now it is colder than Minnesota. How can you be happy?" Ole and Sven replied, "We were always told that when hell freezes over, the Vikings would win the Super Bowl." And guess what? They may go to the Super Bowl this year. It's like, we need to win. We need to win a Super Bowl. We have been to the Super Bowl, what, 5 times? We have not been able to win one. It's like, we need to win. Hey, Patty, how are you? Oh, Mac, no, it is not a true story. Asking for a friend. This is Sven and Ole's story time here. This is all funny, no, stuff. So, Jay, you can't take any of this seriously. Oh. How are Patty Mac tonight? You guys made it through all of your freezing temperatures and your snow and your cold. And are you guys feeling better? I heard that you were down and out last week. I hope you're doing better. You love these stories. Good. And see, some of you are on here now who haven't been on here for these stories before. So that's why I can read them. And even if you've heard them before, sometimes it's fun to hear them again. And then you can get, and then those who are new. So I love losing the bills. Oh, Mac, well, I'm hoping that you guys are doing better. That's good. Yeah, you don't want them to pass it your way, that's for sure. Not at all. So Sven and Ole go duck hunting, and Ole is very excited to show off his new hunting dog. They are out in their duck hunting boat, and a couple of ducks fly over. Hi, Mary. How are you? It's my cousin Mary. They fire, and a duck drops. Ole sends his retriever out to get the duck. The dog jumps out of the boat and runs across the water, picks up the duck, and hops back into the boat. And much to Ole's dismay, Sven doesn't say a word. Another couple of ducks fly over. They shoot, and another duck falls. Ole sends his duck out again. The dog again runs across the water, picks up the duck, and runs back and hops into the boat. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, well, it's ice, right? It's iced over or something. It's like, no wonder he's walking on water. Oh, still, Sven doesn't say a word. This happens several more times. And finally, Oli smugly says, "So, Sven, do you notice anything unusual about my new dog?" "Yeah," says Sven. "He can't swim." It's like, you have a dog that's just, yeah. These two are just not, like I said, quite a few light bulbs short of a pack. You doing well? Hopefully everything is, yes. Did you have a good Christmas and New Year's and everything? So everybody, Mary Urbanski is my cousin. So let's say hi to Mary, everybody, and everybody to Mary. So um, Matt's short weather. Oh, shorts weather. Yes. Yes. I think you started wearing jeans after I talked about frostbite. So I think I haven't seen any shorts on you recently, but Oli and his brothers. Jay, come on, get your funny, your humorous bone going here. These are all jokes. We don't want any seriousness here tonight. Uh, Hello, Lynn. How are you? Hey, Kathy Lyon. Yes, nice to meet you. Yeah. Ole and his brother Sven were working for the city. One would dig a hole. He would dig, 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 dig. The other would come behind him and fill the hole back up. Fill, fill, fill. These two brothers worked furiously, one digging a hole, the other filling it up again. A man was watching from the sidewalk and couldn't believe how hard these men were working, but couldn't understand what they were doing. Finally, he just had to ask them. He said to the hole digger, "I appreciate how hard you work, but what are you doing? You dig a hole, and your brother comes behind you and fills it up again." Ole replied, "Oh, yeah, must look kind of funny. But Al, the guy who plants the trees, he is sick today." So they still do their thing, even though the tree's not getting planted. So, yeah, union jobs. Hey, TNS, how are you? Yes, it has been some time. I'm glad you're on here tonight. Uh, in the 30s today, yes, is you guys are doing well. Sven and Oli heard of an organization that would pay $5,000 for every live wolf. They hunted for days, up and down mountains. One night, they fell asleep around their campfire. In the middle of the night, Oli woke up and saw that they were surrounded by about 50 hungry, ferocious wolves. He said to Sven, "Wake up, Sven, we're rich." If you may get out of there, Oli. Oh my gosh. Your cousins came up from Texas. They got to walk on water. Ah, there you go. Funny. You can stand in all three states at the same time. That is so cool. Michigan, Ohio, Indiana. Yep. I've driven around in that area before, but I didn't realize it was just like you could plant your feet in all three right at one time. That's pretty cool. Sven and Oli go deer hunting, and Sven accidentally shoots Oli. He manages to get Oli out of the woods and drives him to the emergency room. After a while, the doctor comes out to Sven in the waiting room. Excuse me. "Doctor, is my friend going to be all right? I drove as fast as I could." "You know, Sven, we might have had a chance if you didn't take the time to prepare him and tie him to the hood of your car." Yep. Not so good. Not so good. Oli and Lena owned a cafe. Their sign says, "Please don't criticize the coffee. Sometime you may be old and weak too." That's a pretty good sign, actually. I wonder what I could put in my kitchen. Please don't criticize the cook. Someday you may be old and weak too. Uh, that's that's a good observation, Carrie. I think you'd have to have 1 foot over 2 lines. Kind of do that. You could sit down on it, and then you'd be sitting in 3 states at once. There you are. Let me see. You stand on a rock that is placed in all 3 states. Oh, very cool. Okay, this one I know I said once before, but or read once before, but it's been a while. Probably a couple years. It's still pretty funny. Sven is leaning against the fence in his yard when who comes along but Oli. Now Oli is covered with what looks like dung and just looks a mess. Sven is kind of wondering what happened, so he says, "Hey, Oli, are you covered with dung?" Oli just shook his head and said, "Well, you just would not believe it. I was in town doing some sight-seeing, and just when I was heading to the bus stop to come back home, I passed by a hat store. In the window, I see a beautiful green beret. I could not help myself and walked right into that store and bought that thing right out of the window. Wouldn't you know it, I spent so much on that beret that I did not have enough money left to buy a bus ticket. So I had to start walking back home." So Sven looked Oli up and down and said, "But how does buying a new green beret get dung all over you?" Oli said, "Well, if you don't get your pants in a bunch, I'll tell you." He went on, "Well, I'd walked about a mile or so down the road, you know. I was just passing the Knudsen pasture when up comes a big wind and blows my new green beret clean off of my head and way into the pasture. I climbed over that fence as quick as could be and had to push through a bunch of those cows of his just to see where my beret might have landed. Do you know I had to try on 27 of those things before I finally found mine?" So many green berets in the pasture. Yes. I could see you guys were just enthralled because nobody was putting anything in the chat. Yeah, you was right. Matt, I think you need some of these for like family get-togethers and stuff. I think you could do well with these. Let me see what I've got here. Oli bought Lena a piano for her birthday. A few weeks later, Lars inquired how she was doing with it. Oh, said Ole. I persuaded her to switch to a clarinet. How come? Asked Lars. Well, Ole answered, because with the clarinet she can't sing. Cow patties, yep, yep, yep. She can't sing. It's called a music solution. Okay. Just, one day, Lena confided to her friend Hilda that she had finally cured her nervous husband, Ole, of his habit of biting his nails. Good gracious, said Hilda. How did you ever do that? It was really simple, was Lena's reply. I just hid his false teeth. So remember that, you guys, all you married couples that, have. Uh, yes, it is joyful noise. So Mac and Patty, when you get to that point, and Patty, you just need to hide Mac's false teeth there. Yep. Matt, you and Sarah. Yep. Yep. There was this party in the woods, and all of a sudden there was a downpour of thunder and rain. Sven and Ole ran for about 10 minutes in the pouring rain, finally reaching their car just as the rain let up. They jumped in the car, started it up, and headed down the road, laughing, and of course, still drinking one beer after the other. All of a sudden, an old man's face appeared in the passenger window and tapped lightly on the window. Ole screamed out, Yump and Yiminis, look out the window! Sven, there's an old guy's face there. Was this a ghost? This old man kept knocking. So Sven said, well, open the window a little and ask him what he wants. So Ole rolled his window down partway and said, scared out of his wits, what do you want? The old man softly replied, you have any tobacco? Ole, terrified, looked at the driver and said, he wants tobacco. Well, offer him a cigarette. Hurry! Sven replies, so he fumbles around with the pack and hands the old man a cigarette and yells, step on it! Rolling up the window in terror, now going about 80 miles an hour, they calm down and start laughing again. And Ole says, what do you think of that? Sven says, I don't know. How could that be? I was going pretty fast. But don't worry, the speedometer says 80 now. Then all of a sudden again, there's a knock on the window, and there is the old man again. Ah, there he is again, Ole yells. Well, see what he wants now, yells Sven. Ole rolls down the window a little ways and shakily says, yes? Do you have a light? The old man quietly asks. Sven throws a lighter out of the window at him and rolls up the window and yells, I'm stepping on it. They are now going about 100 miles an hour and still guzzling beer, trying to forget what they had just seen and heard, when all of a sudden again, there's more knocking. Oh my gosh, he's back! He rolls down the window and screams out, what do you want now? In stark terror. The old man gently replies, you want some help getting out of the mud? You guys, drink it. No, I know that's not funny, but Alicia, this is all still jokes, and it's the old Scandinavians. It's kind of what they did. Oh, every time you sing God's graces, it gives you laryngitis. Uh, okay. Um, let me go back up here. I don't think it was boop, boop, boop. Let me see. Lena once had 2 chickens. One of them got terribly sick, so she killed the other one to make soup to get the first one well again. Matt, that's not the way to take care of your chickens. Just telling you. Just saying. Sven got a new truck, So he called up Oli and says, Oli, I got me a new truck. Do you want to go ice fishing with me? Sure, says Oli. She has no, right? So Oli went with Sven. Lena came along too because she was doing nothing anyway. Well, Sven and Lena sat in the front seat, and Oli sat back in the bed of the truck. Well, they were on the ice when all of a sudden the truck went right through the ice, which it could very well do right now because we have terrible ice this year, at least south of me. Now, even though Sven and Lena are pretty big people, they managed to get out of the truck up to the surface and back on top of the ice. Sven says, Oli, what took you so long? Well, says Oli, it took me a while to figure out how to open the tailgate. Yeah, his elevator does not go even to the second floor. Now she has no chickens. That's right. Okay. What is it? 1:45 already. So let me see what I have. Take a little break here to talk about our tips. Oh, garden tip. Work on planning your garden and buy your seeds now for whatever you need. I've got, I think, everything I need and plenty of things. So I am good for next year's season. But you guys just, even if you don't have your garden plotted out and fully planned, you probably pretty much have a good idea of what it is you want to grow, right? Right, Kathy? I know those tailgates. So, think about, even if you don't have a plan, you know the things that you're going to grow. So if you need onions, tomatoes, peppers, all the normal things, and you are looking through your seeds and you're like, I think I'm a little short, or these seeds are already 10 years old and I should probably get some new ones, or different things like that. I have a good one I could recommend to you, Kathy. Let me see if I can find it. If you're looking for a small one, don't know. Like a 6x8. Here's one looks pretty good. Gonna try to check that out. Is that something that you're looking for? You want a packet of pumpkin spice jalapenos. Ooh. Garden State Gardener. That is so cool. That is very, very cool, Carrie. So anyway, start looking at, getting your seeds. The seed catalogs have been coming already for like a month. Just look at those and, see what you need, get them ordered, because all of our friends from the South are already starting their seeds, getting their plant starts going so that they can start planting coming up in a couple months. And things are going to approach pretty fast, because I know every year, lately anyway, by the time April or May comes around and up north here, we're looking for seeds, at least from the online companies. I mean, you can go into Walmart and Menards and the big box stores, and you can find racks of seeds here. But if you're trying to go online and get them from Baker Creek or Emma Gardner or some of these others, it's like they're by the time we need to plant them for the winter, or for our spring, they're already they're pretty much gone, so really start getting out there and start checking them out. Can't do plastic because right. Is that one plastic? I didn't even look to see. They're polycarbonate panels. Galvanized steel base. I don't know if that would be heavy enough for you or not. Let me see if it says how much it would weigh. I don't really see all specifications. Let me see. Shipping returns. I don't really see anything, but and they're not carrying one. Oh, boy, am I glad. Okay, I will let the cat out of the bag. I did get myself a greenhouse. Yes, in October, that I have to assemble, and some friends are going to come and help me. It's a small one, 6x8, and it's in the oh, good night, Eli. Thanks for being here. It is cedar of about was it 3 feet, 4 feet or something, 3 feet, and then polycarbonate panels, and it's got shelves and stuff like that in there. And I got it from Costco in November, and I didn't want to wait until spring because it might not be available anymore, which it isn't. So I'm really glad I got it, but it's sitting in my shed right now, waiting for the winter to get over. So it's going to be a spring project. I'm going to get it. So shalom. So anyway, yes, I did get a greenhouse, which I'm really excited about. But it's just a small one. This is going to be perfect for my starts, perfect for being able to extend the season in the fall, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hard poly works great. Okay. I know. And so I'm going to have to, so when you're looking at my garden, you're standing at the gate and looking back. I'm going to open up a couple sections of the fencing on the far left side of it, on the opposite side of the gate going in. So I'm going to open up a couple of those, attach the greenhouse kind of in there, so that I could go right from the greenhouse into the garden and kind of back and forth in there. So that is the plan. But there's going to be a lot of ground prep that I have to do for it, and different things. So it's going to take a couple days to assemble it. I have some friends who had gotten one a year ago and loved it. It's like just perfect. It's got like the automatic venting openings and everything to try to regulate the temperature in there. The only thing that'll be a little bit challenging will be that I'm going to have to keep the roof, keep the snow off of it. So it means going back into the backyard in the winter where I never approach anyway. So it's 33 feet deep of snow back there that I'll have to keep cleaning it off. But anyway, here's the zipper closure. So yeah, it is heavy. It weighs about, it came in 2 boxes. I think it was a total of like 450 to 500 pounds in 2 boxes. And it's like, so it's a lot. This came and just like dropped those boxes in my yard. And I'm like, how am I going to get these into my shed? So I'm unloading the boxes, moving the boxes into my shed, loading the boxes back up with the pieces, all the boards and the different things. And it's like, oh, yeah, it was quite a chore, in which I'm glad I did that day, because the next day it not only rained, but that's when the weather turned. It was like it started to sleet and snow and ice. And so it was like, got it all done. So anyway, so that my big secret is out. So yes, I did get a little greenhouse, which I'm so excited about. Get it up. So anyway, that's going to be a lot of work. So between that and trying to put my squash gardens together, I've got a lot of work ahead of me this spring and summer. So hopefully my strength and my health will hold out for that. Okay. My other thing, my prep tip was, I want to just give you an example of what it would be like to start to work on a year's supply of something that you would need. And I'm just going to use vitamins as an example, because it can sound so overwhelming to go, a year's supply of everything that I need. But if you just do one thing at a time and just start doing that. Okay, so if you buy a multivitamin, let's just say you do, maybe you don't, but if you do, usually you get a bottle of vitamins, and it's usually about 120 in there. So that's 4 months worth of vitamins, right? 30 days, and so 120, that's 4 months. So really you need 3 bottles for a whole year's supply. Maybe you pay $8, $9, $10 for a bottle of vitamins or something. So you get your bottle, and you know that it's going to last 4 months. So let's just say after a month, then you just add that to your shopping and just like pick up one more bottle. So now you've got a 6-month supply. Then a month later, get another bottle. So now you've got 3 bottles, but you've used 2 months of that first one. So then by the time, after 2 months, then buy another one. And at that point, you have a full year's supply of vitamins, because now you have 3 bottles. And so just every 4 months, now you buy one and just keep replacing it in there so that you have that. So, hey Katie, how are you doing? Caitlin. So that's just an example of, how you can do just one thing and then try to keep track of it. So just wanted to say it's more doable than what you think. Start with the little things that can do it, but just, have a list of, I actually have started for my shopping list. I, in my phone, actually have, let's see if I can show you here. In my notes, I actually developed a grocery shopping list here. And so I have like say produce. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Is it too, there we go. The light, the light is shining on it too much. Sorry, I'm wiggling it around. There you go. So it's like I've started produce, and then I've got all of these things here, and I just check them. So let's say I need carrots and I need celery and mushrooms. So I check those so that as I'm scrolling through my list of everything, I know what it is I need to get. And so then when I'm shopping, I can just do that. And then while I'm shopping and it's like, okay, I've already gotten the mushrooms, I just click that and it's like, okay, that's off my list. But then it's always here. So that if I need an extra month's worth of supply of something, I can actually, even put 2 behind there or something like that. And, you know, or however it works. But I've got produce, meat, any breads, condiments, miscellaneous foods, baking supplies, snacks, drinks, paper goods, household, frozen things, dairy, miscellaneous and home goods, any health items. And we're talking from toothpaste to, you know, moisturizer, deodorant, just all of this stuff, vitamins, everything. Then garden. I also have a separate list in here for Menards. I keep track of, and any of the other stores that I usually go to. But so I've got them in sections of how they're kind of laid out at the store, the store that I normally shop at. And so it just kind of, so that I could just scroll down the list. It's like, okay, I'm starting here in the store. I'm scrolling down. It's like, okay, I've got everything in that section. Then I'm walking into the next area and I'm looking at that. And it's like, okay, I've got that done. So as I'm, coming to, well, as I run out of something or I know that I need to get it when I'm cooking or just doing whatever, it's just like, I've taken another case of toilet paper or something, or another paper towel thing, or I'm down enough Kleenex where it's like, oh, I can get another 3-pack of stuff to get my supplies back up or something, that I can just go to that, click it, and I don't have to think about it again, and it's there. So, and then I also know that with a list, if I'm starting to get over what I should be spending, I can look at something and go, okay, is this something I can wait until next week to get? Or, are my supplies at the point where I need to have that? So then I can just leave it checked on my list and just have it there for the next time I go shopping. So I know, Patty, it's used to have a list like that on your phone. Oh, yeah, I know on paper that's, the problem is I started running out of scrap paper to use, and because I always kept lists on my refrigerator too. But this way, I can, if I'm somewhere else and I think of something, it's like, oh, okay, I can just quickly add it to my list. But and then the last thing I want to tell you guys about is, to have some type of information on hand for emergency medical type of stuff, that if you can't get anywhere, if you can, this Survival Medicine Handbook by Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy is really, really, really excellent. This is the 4th edition, and it is a thick book. It is huge. I want to say it is, let's see, appendix. Okay, section 30. Oh, over 650 pages. Okay, so, but it's like all of it's first aid and different things that you can do at home if you just can't get to the hospital, even if you're on vacation or something, but just things you can do while help is on the way, or if help can't get to you or something. So it is. Oh, Dave, hello. I'm sorry if I missed you coming in. No, you were here from the beginning. That's right. So anyway, yes, very serious book. It's really, really good. You even have pictures in here and everything. So on how to do things. So I like this one. Look at this one. Section 13, heart issues. So they go into different things and how you can deal with that. So anyway, my recommendation for that. So, all right, guys. We didn't get nearly done with any of the Oli and Sven and Oli stories, but there's plenty for another time. So this has been fun. I'm so glad that you were here. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my moderators for being here and all that you did. So anyway, you guys take care. God bless. Always have hope, and we will see you next week. All right. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We need to start the year with laughter, right? All right. Good night.